Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the single player Let's Play series. Today I am already getting started on the roll here to get us going with a blaze burner. So I've got 20 iron ingots turning into 20 iron plates, and with those 20 iron plates we can turn them into a blaze burner. And you can see here we're going to get ourselves an empty blaze burner, and with that we can go and capture a blaze to basically keep as a hostage. And what that blaze will do is allow us to heat up our, not necessarily our, but heat up a steam engine, or a steam boiler rather, not engine, steam boiler from Create, and that will allow us to get a little bit better along with just how much output we're producing in ways of torque. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get ourselves, I'm going to go with 5. You can do up to 9 blaze burners, but I think 5 will be plenty. I find that it doesn't really take all that many. And what I'm going to do is head to the Nether and pick up a couple of, hello little bees, pick up a couple of blazes, and I will be back whenever I've managed to get that. I realized that we haven't actually been to a fortress yet, so there we go. We found one finally. It is not close necessarily. I also found basalt iron ore. I don't think it really does much. I want to say it might be able to be fortuned, and if not, then that looks like it might be a bug for me, but let's see. Nope, yep, it can be fortuned. So that is more iron. Can't say no to that. So anyways, we're here. I'm going to go ahead and waypoint this because that was kind of a trek. Not too bad now that we've got the fall resistance from our boots, from our pneumatic armor. But definitely not the most ideal journey, and hopefully at some point we can make a gadget that will help with that. Or maybe we should just make a minecart track, honestly. I think that would probably come a little bit sooner and be a little bit more entertaining. Would be to just have a nice little underground minecart track, or even above ground minecart track that gets us here. Only issue with above ground is, of course, ghasts, but hey, you know. But yeah, you can see our portal was all the way over here, so it was about 150 blocks, which isn't too terribly far. Well, it says 150, but you have to consider, I think these are nether coordinates. Yeah, this is, so it's actually closer to 1,000 blocks, I think, because I can't really tell. It looks like it's being weird. It's really hard to tell. Hang on, that should be 160. No, yeah, okay, so it really was just that far away. Wow, okay, it felt negative 22, 170. It felt a lot further than 200 blocks. Well, okay, regardless, that's enough rambling. I'm gonna go try to find some blazes. Literally just cut my recording and got the Piglin Pack and got the Hot Tourist Destinations achievement. So the Piglin Pack, if we go here, we can actually customize our backpack. We could do the classic old-fashioned backpack. There's the new one, and then there's a couple others that you get just by doing things. So we made a bunch of components, and so now we can have a create-themed one. I believe you have to make 100 distinct create items. Then there's the Piglin Pack, which we just unlocked. There's the cardboard box, which is chop 100 log or 1,000 logs. There's end crystal to kill the ender dragon. Feed bamboo to 10 different pandas. The honey jar for bottles. The mini chest for 5 unopened buried treasure chests. I don't know if that one actually works with looter, but we'll see. Pickpocketing, that one's pretty tough. Trash can recycle food and plants in the compost 100 times. That's a lot. That's a lot. I think I'm going to keep it with the cogwheel, though. I think that looks extra cool with sort of the steampunky theme that we're going with right now anyway. Blazes acquired. So you just right-click on the blaze itself to capture them inside of the blaze burner. You can right-click the spawner. I can't remember if it consumes the spawner or if I'm thinking of soul shards, but you can do that. But since I can't remember, I'd rather not take a risk, and I'm perfectly fine sitting here and looting stuff and being patient in the meantime. Because there's a lot of quartz in here. Not like a ton, but there's also like a perfectly unused anvil. Well, okay, no, it's slightly used. Never mind. But there's a good bit of stuff, so I'm taking what I can get because it's free. But yeah, I'm just kind of sitting around and grabbing a couple more of these. I think, oh, actually that's everything we need. So I will probably go ahead and harvest up some more blaze rods for myself as well, because, you know, they're always helpful to have. I may have to pick a different spawner, though. This one has been over... Oh, there we go. I was going to say that other one has been a little bit overwhelmed with zombified piglins. But this one's fine. So I'm gonna sit here and go ahead and harvest up a couple of these rods just in case, because you never know when we'll need them. But there's lots in this mod pack overall that we'll try to use them if it can. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so I'm out here. I wanted to show off really quickly. First of all, I just finished making a bunch of fluid tanks, and second, I built this little structure around our previous episode's entirety of the the tree farm we made. So I moved some things around, shifted them a bit, and I tore down the sawmill and replaced it with a furnace, one of these laboratory furnaces. In fact, it's the one from our home base. And the only reason, if you think about it, like the charcoal smelting calculations, they don't really add up to be more than the 6 planks worth of smelting that we would get from planks over here. But this is just a way cleaner setup, and I think that's kind of the biggest thing for me is that this is just way less clunky. So I've got it being fueled off of sticks and off of the rather the birch is also going to go in and become coal. So you can see we've got 1.2 thousand coal, or charcoal at least already. And so I think we're getting pretty close to ready to get everything configured for a handful of different structures that I think we're going to need. So let me kind of map this out for you and explain my thinking process at least. And you know, we'll do something cool for this. So I'm gonna probably build our boiler. This is where I'm always a little bit hesitant, as I don't know where to build it. We could build it out here. I do think that this area is probably going to be the best. And so what I will do is I will put these 5 blaze burners down, and actually I may put them down a block. And what we can do is, for now, I'm just going to leave this wide open, because we're going to need something to load up our blaze burners with coal. There are a few options. I could do it the simple way and just use create pipes, and I think that will probably be use pretty pipes as pipes, or we could use conveyor belts from create or conveyor belts from immersive. It really doesn't matter which way we decide to go, but I think it would be really fun to get into the sequenced crafting and go ahead and get started with a mechanical arm. So one of these guys, these are not super easy to make because of the precision mechanism, but that is okay. So we're going to need a gold plate, 10 iron nuggets, and then cogs, we're going to need 10 of these, and we're also going to need 10 large. So let's go ahead and grab planks and shafts. Like so. And then we're going to need deployers. We're going to have to make a couple more of these. Do we need deployers, or can we borrow deployers? We may just borrow them for now. I'm debating. I don't know. Maybe we should just go ahead and build this out properly. So to make this structure here, we're going to need 3 deployers. Yeah, I really do think we should just make this. So let's go ahead and get 3 deployers ready. So I think I've got everything ready to go here. I am going to hijack our boiler over here for just a little bit, since we do have all of the extra, I don't know. We could just really quickly do this, and then it's just easy to flip it back on. Oh sure, yeah. Why not? Why not be annoying? Why not? What we can do is, if we shift right click these down, you can see these all place in a line, and as it happens, if I did something like this, I can connect these up, and now they all spin at the same time. And so now, if you'll recall, the recipe was a gold plate, and then it is a small cogwheel, large cogwheel, iron nuggets. So we'll do this. You see now they're holding that, and I'm going to go get that gold plate because I completely forgot. I also realize now that for some reason I said 10 of each when I really only needed 5 of each, so we're going to make 2 of them while we're here. That way we don't have to do this again. Alright, 2 gold sheets later, I'm just going to toss both of these down, and we'll start to see how this entire process is going to go. So step 1, apply small gear. Step 2, apply large gear. Step 3, apply iron nugget. Now, this is going to produce an incomplete mechanism. this is not done, and it'll tell you what the next step is. So if you're doing this completely manually, like if I were to just take these out each time, which is totally an option that you can do, then you would know what step to do next. But again, absolutely not necessary for us because we're doing this. And that makes it a little bit easier. I haven't done it by hand in a while, but you absolutely can. If you don't feel like doing it the hard way, you don't have to. Just up to you and how you want to do it, really. So you can see that we're about halfway done. Getting there. And we'll just repeat this a couple more times. I know it's riveting. There are ways to automate this. It's actually not too terribly difficult to do a loop to have this just infinitely feed through until a filter picks up the output. And so you can have the filter matching on the completed precision mechanism if you wanted. But I think that's a little bit overkill for how few of these we're ever going to need. And this will get us a quest reward or two, especially if we do the mechanical arm as well, which is exactly what we're doing next. But we'll go ahead and claim our first and our second precision mechanism. So now I'm going to tear all this down because we're not going to need it at all. And that should do. Now, this is not useful information, what I'm about to share with you, but I found it very neat, so I'm going to share it anyway. If I steal this metal, this bracket off of this shaft, like so, I learned this today. The creative compressor, what is it, compressed creativity mod, allows you, I don't actually know if we have, I thought we had exposed piping, but I guess we don't over here. We do, however, have it on the other side, so I'll go grab that instead. There's some right down here somewhere, yeah? Allows you to put, I thought, maybe not. Okay, I recently saw maybe this was a new change where you could put the brackets on these tubes. Interesting. Okay, I swear that I did see that, though. Interesting. As I'm running back, I was also reminded. So I was given a good piece of advice from Eldersign, who has played a significantly larger amount of immersive engineering than I think I ever have in my lifetime. I usually play around with immersive engineering for, I think the longest I've ever done it was for like about a month, where I played around with it before moving into thermal. But I've never gotten into the drills because of my already voiced complaints that I've mentioned. But I was informed that the drills can be repaired using a maintenance kit on the go. And so I've made one. What you do is you right click on it to open this little toolkit, and you can just take out or insert your drill heads, and you can replace them. You can augment on the go as you need, and just sort of do whatever you need. And this will take a little bit of durability each time you open it, but you know, it's worth it, I think. This is a really cool mechanic. I didn't know this existed. Anyways, so we're going to need some brass, but we are almost there. We're almost at the finish line here. This one's going to be a longer episode for sure because I just want to get this done. But I do think that once we do, it will be very worthwhile. Because we have a lot that we can gain from this. This is actually going to be our new RF source as well. So we're going to upgrade to MV probably in the next episode just because, you know, time constraints. But when we move to MV or even HV, this will be how we're going to produce our power for the time being. We could move to magmatics, but I'm going to try my hardest not to use them because on the server that I tested this pack on, I exploited the absolute crap out of them. And I'd like to try something different this time for a change. So anyways, mechanical arm time. So we can go ahead and get that together. It looks like it is something like this, and that gets us a mechanical arm. The mechanical arm is super neat. It uses not really that much stress if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and test that. I don't remember exactly how much. But if we put it down and try to run it, yeah, see, it doesn't really use too much stress. And what it will do is it will take anything out of an inventory and move it to other inventories. And this is a great way to filter, to distribute, to round robin stuff. It's really quite an excellent mechanic. And I really think it goes underappreciated in certain sorting setups, for example. You can really do a lot with it. I'm going to use it to fuel all of our friends, all of our little blaze burners. So we're going to need some sort of a chest or a barrel, some sort of contraption to store items for us for a little while, because we're going to need to keep a buffer of coal on us. And you know what? I just remembered that there is a tiny chest, a mini chest. I might make one of these, actually. So we will need all those components, but that shouldn't be too bad. And then we can just do that. And the reason that the mini chests are really cool is that they only store one slot. So this will be a nice little one slot buffer. And what you can do is you can right click or shift right click. Oh wait, can you not? Does that not work? Oh, okay. I guess it has to be... I hope a normal chest works. I hope you're not going to be weird. I mean, I know that these are in general kind of weird. But, okay. Maybe we'll just have to do a barrel after all. That's unfortunate. Am I losing my mind? So, from what I remember, yeah, you have to place their inputs and outputs beforehand. Oh, it has to come out of a depot. That's right. Why didn't I remember that? Yes, so we need a depot for this. I don't know why I forgot about that. It doesn't take from any standard inventory at all. Has to be a depot. Let me go ahead and grab a funnel. And I think I know exactly what we can do. Let's grab some glass as well. I think this could look really cool. Oh, you know what? This might actually be a good opportunity for the panzer glass finally. And at building, let's go ahead and get a couple more of these as well because I really like them. We can build ourselves out a little mechanism for sending our coal over from our little shack that we built up into this new region that we're building out now. So, what we can do, this was what I intended, and I just absolutely messed all of it up, is we can put our depot right here. Right-click here to take items from it. If you right-click again, you'll change it to deposit items to it, but we're just going to take from it and deposit to all of these, and then I'll place it down. And so you'll see when I place it down, the tooltip says mechanical arm has 1 input and 5 outputs. And so now, if I were to come over here, take a stack of charcoal, right-click here to insert into the depot, and then manually, wow, that placed the wrong way, all the wrong ways. Okay, try again with feeling. There we go. Manually run this. What it will do is it will grab the coal out and it will apply it to our blaze burners. I'm not going to do this too much, but you'll see now this blaze burner is completely lit. You can see he's puffed up, he's happy, he's nice and warm. It'll eventually run out. I probably didn't have to do that, but that's okay. We'll just reconfigure that. Easy enough. As you can see, it is really fast to reconfigure. And you know, with the amount of range that this has, I might put it over on like the side here to make it less cluttered. I think that's the move. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything piped out of our drawer and into our buffer here. And I will be back when I have that all made up because that's going to take a minute. All right, so this setup is just about done. Sheep, please don't try to help. Thank you, thank you. So we're just going to right-click down here, 2 chutes, and if we... I guess we can't really visualize it, but we'll see down here all these pieces of charcoal are going to come and try to insert themselves into the depot. I've filtered it so that only charcoal goes in, and you'll see that it's just going to back stuff for us. So this is one of my favorite things about Create, is that rather than spilling items, it just stops. It just, you know, builds up a buffer. So what I'm going to do is embrace the aesthetic a little bit, which is a little bit difficult to do sometimes. But I have been a real big fan of just taking an aesthetic and kind of running with it. So in this case, you know, that whole industrial aesthetic is the one that I'm going to kind of go for here. I'm going to finally use up some of this panzer glass so that we can see into our little setup here. And now you can see that everything's headed right over here. What I'm going to do for this part is a little bit different, a little, I wouldn't say tricky, but it's a little different. And I'm going to, rather than power the mechanical arm over here using the boiler itself, I'm going to power it using the line that we have running over here off of water wheels. I think we should have enough, potentially, hopefully, by way of by way of gears, but we will see. Now, there are a couple of ways that we could do this. I think for us, the easiest way would just be to try to go get a new gearbox. Right, so I rearranged it a little bit. I didn't really love how this had turned out beforehand. So I've just done this little deal here. I think this works out pretty nicely. And I'm just going to go through here and clean stuff up a little bit. Just with some covers. And I think that will do. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and disable this for the moment because it's not actually helpful that these run until we get our boiler put together. So let's get the boiler put together. So I'm going to go tear down our old boiler setup over here. We're not going to need it after this new one. So we can go ahead and take back all of this stuff. Namely, we can take back most of this. I'm going to leave this running here so that I remember to come clean this up here in just a little bit. Because I know we've got a bit of a mess to clean up here. But let me go ahead and pick up my campfires again. And then we can clean all this up with some light terraforming. I think that'll do. Good enough. So we're going to need... Oop, I need another bucket of water. Glad I remembered that. I also need like 3 times the inventory space. Yeah, I know the crate has a couple of mechanics to help, but I'm still going to complain. Alright, so let's go and start to build out our new fluid tank. This one's going to be significantly bigger. As you can see, we've gone for... This is just about the max size, if it isn't the max size. I truly cannot remember, unfortunately. And what I'm going to do is, I think we can be extra lazy and set up our water right here. Now, we may need another pump. We'll see. But if we don't, then I'm going to count my blessings. What just happened there? That was interesting. Why won't you... Why are you being weird? Why are you being weird? You're the one being weird. Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, let's do this. I think that will work. Straight up into that, maybe? Possibly? Let's see. So that is the wrong way. That's okay, though, because we can do that. We should hopefully see water going through there eventually, maybe? There we go. And so now this will start to fill up with water. All I need to do is put a boiler on it, if you'll remember, the steam engines. If I put this here, how are we doing? Capable of 16,000 stress. 16,000. That's insane. And so, of course, we can distribute this across many engines. And if I were to hook these up, you can see exactly how much faster this is going to with the increased burn rates and everything. So this system is going to be pretty good. I think right now our bottleneck is currently water. So there is one thing that we could do to sort of assist that. We could do something like this. And now we're going to get a lot more water going in there. And now we're producing 49,000 stress. You see how just that one little change just made a huge difference? Incredible, incredible. And this is probably the most compact version of one of these I've set up so far. This setup is very, very small and very, very compact, but also like not so small that you can't do anything with it. So that's, wow, that is significantly better. So here's what we can do with this. In the next episode, we can hook up a lot more to this system than I think we ever have been able to. My only concern, my only thoughts, my only worry is that we're going to go through too much coal, through too much charcoal too quickly. I haven't done any measurements, but if that turns out to be the case, then we may have to go back to planks, which would not be a big deal. What I would probably do is just move that drawer here, do this same exact setup, but then sawmill it along the way, and then just do planks, because honestly, that is more efficient when it comes right down to it. It's just not as pretty looking, and that's why I did this setup, is it's a lot cleaner. But if we did it here, I think that would work just about as well, either which way. Let me finish cleaning this up a little bit. There's not a whole lot that I can do for it anymore. We've done quite a lot to make this look good already. And needless to say, I am already very, very, very tickled with this entire setup and the way that this has turned out. Let's go and put you there, and you there. And now we can see all of it. We can even see the mechanical arm peeking through every now and then. So, I do apologize that this was such an incredibly long episode, but as you can tell, we have definitely outdone ourselves here. This is definitely quite a nice little setup that we've created with Create. No pun intended, but absolutely just the entire premise of the mod is to automate all the things, and we have most certainly done that today. 49,000 stress units. Wow. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.